Now the brain surgery is starting. We have to position the patient properly. This is the second surgery we are performing today. Just propping the patient, and now we have to attach the skull clamp to the patient, which protects the skull and holds it together while we are performing the brain surgery. Selecting the base unit there. Now we have to attach the base unit to the operation table, like that. This is how we do, guys. Now we have to cut the hair with the surgical trimmer. We are just only cutting the half of the head. Now we have to also put a gauge paper inside the ear. Now you have to get a surgical scrub and wash it. This is the portion we should have to cut to prevent hemostasis and relieve the pressure from the brain. This is a very important surgery and very careful. We have to be very careful here. Now we will be scrubbing with the chlorhexidine solution, which will remove all the infection if there is any. Because of brain surgery, we cannot take any risk. Just marking the portion that we should cut. And now we have to drape the operative field. We have to attach the sterile plastic adhesives so that it could attach to the skin. Now we can just see only the brain. We are performing this with local anesthetic only. Now I have to select the scalpel there. Now the cutting would start. I can assure you there is much more bleeding, guys, and this is just a simulation we are playing, but in real there will be much more bleeding. I can just imagine. We have to pull the skin so that we can get entry into the skull. Right this by this way. Okay, we got the scissors. Now we have to cut the plane. Now it acts as a protective barrier between the superficial fascia of the skin. Yeah. Now we will use the electrocautery pen to just remove all the thing and burn through it. It is very much sterile and there is no chance of infection. This is a very complex surgery. This is a very important part, pulling the skin. It is very, tough also. Yeah, we can now see the skull. I can just imagine this is so. Okay, the preparation is almost done. Now we have to break through the skull, I guess. These are the towel clamps. We are just selecting with a dry gauge right now. Now let me take a moment to prepare for the next part. Wow. Okay. Now for the phase 2, we are using the drill and a syringe with saline to wash it and then break through the skull. Just like this. This is very dangerous and you have to be very careful. Wow. Now this is the dissector. We'll just lever it up. My heart is beating so fast. In this simulation only. Now I have to attach the B1 foot to the drill. Okay, now we can open the skull, I guess. My heart is beating so fast, guys. Heart is beating so fast. This is it. Now I have to use the bone wax to control the bleeding, like this. We still haven't gone through the skull. It is much more important. This would remove the bleeding from the electro. Now this is the number 11 scalpel, a very fine scalpel to cut through the epithelial or the layer above the skull, like this. Oh shit. I have to cut through like 5 of them. 4 done, and the last one. Okay, for the next part, I guess the skull is now open. Now I have to remove the weight swabs. I have to swap a syringe with the saline solution. This is the way. There is much more bleeding, I guess. The pressure is already relieved because we have opened this. Now we just have to put the skull back in. This is, just to relieve pressure, we have to crack open the whole skull. Can you just imagine, guys? Can you just imagine? Now we gotta remove the screwdriver there. Yeah, by this way. Now we have to seal with the electrocautery forces. Yes. Now we have to attach the skin. This is the last portion. Our brain surgery is almost done. Just have to sew through the fascia and the skull. Yeah. Just have to seal this through and remove any kind of bleeding there. Now we can just staple through it. This is a staple gun. And for the